This podcast contains scenes of violence, adult language, and, if we did our jobs right, disturbing subject matter. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
So, after the Ned lads became permanent fixtures, little Jimothy stopped coming home from school talking about weird things, like, Janet, are you okay? You've barely touched your real meat, real treat, bone-in vegan kosher hot dog, brought to you by Real Meat. What's wrong?
It's just stuff at home. I'm worried that Paul is having trouble adjusting to life planet-side now that we've struck it big in the space gold business and can afford the authentic gravity experience. He just keeps shrieking at the sunrise, and I caught him.
Hi, folks. Does this sound familiar to you?
This is a private conversation.
Leave us alone.
Life on authentic gravity carries many rewards for a life well lived. But just like the first time you had your spleen replaced, there are some hidden downsides that need to be addressed.
What do you mean, hidden downsides? Like a tax or something?
No, I think he means the Jesuits of Christ.
Silence! Is the sound that the most dangerous substance in the known universe makes, waiting until the moment that you've let your guard down to strike.
Oh, I know this one. It's
Water! Specifically in large quantities.
snakes.
Hold up there, mysterious handsome stranger. Water doesn't come in large quantities. It comes pre-packaged in portion segments by Navier-Stokes Enterprises.
Yeah, I have some water right here. It isn't dangerous.
Yeah, or like this portioned water module from our competitors. Oh.
I just saved your life. When I'm done, you'll thank me. Water is the cradle from which all life springs.
Gross.
And it, like every parent, has the power to take that life away if we disrespect it. Tell me, folks, have you ever heard of drowning?
What's drowning, mister?
Drowning is what happens when you submerge a human in water for too long, and the spirits in the water decide to invade the immune system.
Fucking what?
That's right. A fully grown adult can easily aspirate if flipped upside down and placed headfirst in a bucket of water. Records show that if left in that scenario, a fully grown adult will die after approximately 97 hours of constant exposure to the substance. Do you know what that tells us?
That you represent a collection of people that do horrific experiments on people and don't understand the differences between correlation and causation?
We've got another one. Send a unit for re-education. It means that water is toxic. And that's why Navier-Stokes Solutions takes steps with every patent and containment unit sold to ensure that you don't get taken over by the liquid menace. When Real Meat and Navier-Stokes Solutions puts their name on a product, that means you can trust it. Don't trust water that isn't branded. Don't fall for the hypnotic allure of the moonlight glinting off of the waves. Remember, water from our competitors isn't your friend. It isn't your lover, and it won't offer you anything more than empty promises. Don't trust it.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. I can't wait to tell all my friends. Oh, he climbed out the window. That was neat.
This message brought to you by the combined efforts of Real Meat and Navier-Stokes Solutions from the Safety, Inspection, and Re-Education departments of each, mandatorily to the ears of you. Remember, when you're here, you're ours. Thank you very much to our patron Damien for submitting that via our Patreon.
Phenomenal.
Hello and welcome to The Stars Aren't Alright, now 100% cannibalism free. Ooh, sorry. I've just been informed by our legal team we cannot make that claim. Now 90% free of human flesh, asterisk. If you read the asterisk, it says, cannot guarantee the amount of human flesh.
Bones aren't flesh.
Bones aren't flesh. That's right. You heard it here first, folks.
Someone out cannibalism?
Well, it depends how
Depends
aggressive.
how you do it.
Oh, man. First thought, best thought, everybody. All right. The Stars Aren't Alright. We are an actual Play Call of Cthulhu podcast. Just in case you weren't aware, I would like to go around the table and introduce our players, and they can introduce their characters. Players, let's have your characters. What's your character's favorite knock-knock joke? And we'll start with Alex.
Hey, I'm Alex Collins. I play Forenza Grammatori. He is the galaxy's sole audiologist who deals 100% of his practice with overly loud podcast music intro-related injuries. So he's got a lucrative practice, runs most of the racket around ear-related medical stuff in the galaxy, and his favorite knock-knock joke is it's just like a standard one, like knock-knock, who's there? I don't know any fucking knock-knock jokes.
That does sound like a joke an audiologist would make.
Yeah, but it's yelled instead.
Right.
Knock-knock!
Always. Who's there?
Alex. Think of the waveforms.
I'll know where to cut.
And then for Pyotr.
I'm Alex Collins. I actually play Pyotr Gaius Maitland, and Pyotr's favorite knock-knock joke is probably one that's like, knock knock, who's there? Orange. You say orange a whole bunch of times, and then it's banana at the end. And he never gets to be a banana. He just fucking pesters somebody with orange.
They just keep saying orange.
Yeah.
No, who's there? Orange. Orange who? Orange. Orange who? Orange. I love it. I'm here for it. All right. Thank you, Alex. Leah.
Hello, I am Leah, and I'm playing Glade Walker. She wears masks. Cagier than usual, I see. What? Her favorite knock knock joke is knock knock.
Who's there?
Works every time.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you. Tom.
Hi, my name is Tom, and I play the big Irish guy whose name is Alastar. I remembered that now. Alastar's favorite knock-knock joke would be knock-knock.
Who's there?
Water.
Water who?
What are you doing today?
That does remind me to thank our patron Damien for submitting the ad. He subscribed to the highest tier of our Patreon and wrote that ad. You might have recognized Damien's voice from previous ads. And also thanks to Carlin and Katie from season 1.5.
Woohoo!
Catherine.
Hi, I'm Catherine, and I play Juno Angevin, our resident preacher and televangelist. And Juno does have some good knock-knock jokes that she learned while going to school at the monastery. And probably her favorite one is knock-knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Father.
Father who?
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Boo. Boo.
And then she would just break into our God is an awesome God.
And we did,
Accompanied poorly by guitar.
and like be like risen up by like ropes.
And that's how we started Mass every Sunday.
Incredible. All right. Thank you, team. As the audience may or may not be aware, thanks to the magic of podcasting, you will be listening to this 2 weeks after the previous episode, unless something has gone horrifically wrong in my life. But we have not recorded in a while. So this recap might be a little bit girthier than usual. Let's
Girthy recap!
girthy recap, which is more important than length, I have been told. My recaps are usually not that long or girthy,
But they are ribbed.
they are ribbed. Yes, they are ribbed.
I have heard that we're measuring recap length by volume now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if it displaces, this one may displace more. You're all really looking at me.
So previous episode.
No, like volume
I know what you
displacement.
meant.
No, Brian, she didn't talk about sound volume.
Oh, okay. Thank you. This is where we're at today, audience. Let's fucking go. All right. In On the last episode, we had reclaimed the book, hooray, which had some blood splashed on it, less hooray, and started whispering to be not afraid and seemed to take a breath. Mushrooms? We don't know. Also, when Juno, who had reclaimed the book, tried to wipe blood off of the book, it seemed to have already absorbed it into the book. Juno also left Jesus Christ. All right.
Lock in.
Lock the fuck in. Okay.
Is
Juno.
this the girth you're talking about?
Look, the girth is making it better for me already.
You can tell it's girthy by the amount of time he spent going.
It's much harder to get a word out because of the girth.
I was taught not to speak with my mouth full, but here we go. All right. Juno. Fuck me. Where was I? All right. Juno also left the Jesuit to bleed out in the van, which was neat. That was neat for her. And that's it. That's the end of that point. That might have been funnier if we hadn't just done the whole girth bit, but it was worth it. The girth bit was better than that bit, so I'm here for it.
Yeah,
All right.
keep talking about the bit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think the thing that makes that bit so good. All right. After making tracks from Juno's house, which had been both grenaded and gunshotted, and then also just generally kerfluckered, our group was surprised by a Nedled shooting at another Nedled. The shooter. I cannot fucking talk today. This is insane. The shooter had green lights and then identified itself as the Partition. Pyotr immediately renamed it to Party, which was tight as fuck. It gave them an escape route through more tunnels. Yay, we love a tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. Alastar spotted a sigil inscribed on the ground behind them as they were walking with the book and determined it had something to do with summoning. It came from occult practices tied to worship of the void itself or the spirit of different exoplanets other than Earth. He remembered that it was claimed to have been actually discovered in deep space. They went to Juno's yes and mob doctor, Fillmore Kripke, in the upper section of the Nexus Plaza. 3 things to know about him. He's almost certainly a Jesuit. Glade spotted a tattoo and he tried to recruit her to direct service, quote unquote, gave her a number. He breeds dogs and he has a crush on Pyotr. He has definitely clocked that Juno had the book as well, and he knew it wasn't a Bible. Also, Pyotr accidentally asked him out on a date and then stole everything from the waiting room. Lol. The Redcoats, who Glade had contacted before she left Gate City, previously to go kill the Scotsman, I believe was the original plan.
No one remembers this, Brian. I don't think
no one remembers. Yeah, it didn't happen. Absolutely. Texted her that they were ready and waiting for her, but true Glade fashion, she left them on red, which is a classic, just truly classic. Frank followed up with Alastar, determined that Jax was who he said he was, which gave our Irishman what I've written here is Hoobaloo. And I'm assuming that made sense to me at the time. Juno got a message from Tenjin, which just said that he will be in Gate City in a day and a half. They tried to lay low with Special K, Caspi, the alpha dog, part of this complete breakfast. But unfortunately, Juno and Pyotr nearly fell victim to the book's psychic pull, but they were rescued at the last minute by the power going off, green lights coming up, and then Party showing up and possessing Caspi through his cybernetics. The Partition, or Party, gave them the skinny in the book, as Party was the version of Major Ziggy that had read it. It brings the beings known as the Angels to full power, probably why the Jesuits might want it. Their civilization had fallen to infighting, so they genetically modified themselves to only be able to mature with the injection of this knowledge, and it was also to prevent the maturation of potential rivals. It believed it could possess the angel that Gate City uses and use that power to set humanity free of its self-imposed oppression. Caspi's eyes then burned out. The green light faded, and we find ourselves in this darkened apartment. Emergency lights come up, red light bathing everything. Caspi's lying on the ground.
Fuck! Caspi! Glade runs over to him.
Okay. As you run over Glade, he does still have a pulse, but you can see, like, he starts shaking and, like, breathing, like, heavily. Glady! I can't see! Yeah,
okay. You're okay, man. You're alive. What the fuck just happened?
We need to get him medical attention. Here, I can possibly stabilize him, but...
Here, says Pyotr, being helpful for once in his fucking life. I liberated some medical supplies from your friend. They might help.
Thank you, Pyotr. And Juno will attempt
First aid?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a success, a regular success.
As you kind of kneel down, Pyotr giving, kind of like a bunch of medical supplies here, you can see that Pyotr has also managed to steal a decent amount of painkillers. And like a lot of them are kind of like applied via patch, like a nicotine patch, but for...
Can I just put them over his eyes?
I knew you were going to do that.
Just...
Yeah, I'll allow it. So you can start to see Caspi start to like go into shock. And as your first thought was, okay, well, like I'm going to assess maybe like if there's any like kind of bleeding or anything like that. You can see his eyes have like burned out and they like that has cauterized. And then you can see him start to shake. And even in like the red light, you can see like the blood drain from his face. And so you just kind of immediately grab these painkillers and pop it on his empty eye sockets.
No, I won't. No, we'll just be normal with it. But I will. So it's cauterized. He's not bleeding from his head.
He doesn't seem to be bleeding, no.
And is there blood on him?
There doesn't seem to be blood, but there are burn marks kind of following like normal cybernetic scarring patterns.
Okay.
So, I mean, like you sense like there's probably some pretty significant injuries to, just kind of like his body.
His brain. And his brain.
His brain, yeah, exactly.
Okay, take this, and she slaps the painkiller patch onto his arm and then looks at him again and then slaps a second one on his arm. We should get you to somewhere where we can take a closer look, but where would that be, Caspi? Where can you go?
I have an agreement with the Scotsman. With the Scotsman.
The Scotsman?
And then he passes out.
The Scotsman?
Is he still alive? Or is he just unconscious?
He does still have a pulse.
He's going to have brain damage.
Oh my god.
There's also a veterinarian around these parts, as we learned.
I thought you didn't want to go back to the veterinarian.
Well, I'm not going back. But for him, it's better than nothing.
So, veterinarian or the Scotsman?
Is there any downside to us taking him to the Scotsman in this moment? Dude's got connections. He could save this guy's life.
You know the Scotsman?
Yeah. I've been here before.
Huh. Okay. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Are you okay, Glade?
No, I'm not okay. Because... Fuck. We brought the book here. I brought the book here, and now look at fucking Caspi. There's no escaping any of this.
I mean, I think Party might be independent of the book at this point.
I think Party might be the book at this point.
I kind of regret giving them that cool nickname, I'm not going to lie.
I do think you got a bit ahead of yourself in that.
We've all done wrong.
I thought he was going to be a lot chiller and more fun.
No, it burnt out the guy's eyes. He can't stay here. It would be the worst thing we can do right now after burning out this person's eyes is not taking him to get help. I don't care if we take him down to a veterinarian. I don't care if we take him to the Scotsman. I don't care if we drop him off at the hospital. We just got to get him out of here.
Brian, do we know how long it would be to get him to the veterinarian, who I understand is also kind of in the lower part of the Nexus Plaza here?
Yeah, so realistically from where you are now, kind of as the bird flies,
The fake bird?
As the nano bird Bluetooth speaker flies, it would be probably not more than like 10-15 minutes to get down to the lower levels. That being said, carrying someone with burned out eyes who's, in a narcotically induced coma, call it an even 17.
Can I take a look around the fortress of Caspatute to see if he has any keys or pertinent information sitting around somewhere that we could make use of as we try to travel? Maybe he has a car we can use. Throw him in the trunk. take it somewhere.
Yeah, so within the Nexus market, I would say you know that like the car travel within the Nexus market itself is not really possible. It's mostly like walking space. But you're looking around. Are you looking for something specifically to help move him, or like what are you looking for?
Yeah, any information that could get us from point A to point B, wherever that would be faster, or if he has a way of moving around the city unnoticed, that would also classify.
You guys do know that Caspi is like a map maker, and he does specialize in having like schematics. You can make a spot hidden check with a penalty dice, or somebody who has been here before can help you, and we can make it a straight spot hidden check.
I'll help. As Tom frantically looks around. Anyone?
No one? Okay. Standard spot hidden. That's a giga fail, a 99.
Hot dog.
You just
Find
accidentally
everything
light
but
things
maps.
on fire. You pick up some papers and they just burst into flames.
Punch it like a bus.
Before we get to the consequences of what's going to happen there, and I know there will be some, can Pyotr look around for just a cart that we can throw a blanket over and push him somewhere? He's got a bunch of computers and shit in here. He's got to have some way of moving stuff around.
Go ahead and make a luck check for me.
That's a fail.
A fail. Yeah, so computer parts are small.
He does have a wheelie chair that I imagine he would use
He does have an office chair. I will say that. That's a good point. He definitely has a wheelie chair. It's a gamer chair for sure.
Yeah.
Pyotr's going to go grab a crusty bed sheet off of the bed and go help me into the chair. We'll wheel him to the veterinarians.
Why is it everything you touch turns crusty?
This was pre-crusty.
He's just like, he's like those shittiest Midas. like a puberty Midas.
Do you want to have to bring him to the Scotsman or not? Just give me a hand here.
Okay. We're not bringing Caspi to a veterinarian.
Pyotr looks directly at the camera. Just...
You can be taken to the veterinarian, but Caspi is an incredible mind we need to preserve.
Pyotr's gonna go ahead and take sanity damage. Yeah, Pyotr takes
so
2
you care
sanity
about her
damage.
opinion now.
I think he cares about it when it's negative.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Caspi is a recluse. He doesn't leave his house.
I have noticed. And she looks at the crusty bed sheet.
Yeah, part of the bed sheet just breaks off in Pyotr's hand.
Somewhere in the corner, you just hear Alastar going, I haven't noticed a fucking thing! Why are there no filing cabinets around?
So that does bring us to Alastar. Alastar.
Oh, yeah.
You notice Caspi obviously has a very meticulous and intense filing system, but unfortunately it is incomprehensible. He has like kind of one of those like latticed shelves up on the wall above his computer where there are a bunch of like rolled up little sheets that was where he's actually has like physical printouts of maps. And you can see the one categorization that you can discern from his organizational principles here is that there is a section where this is obviously like kind of very high value or like he should not have these maps, that kind of thing, right? So of course, you're looking for a way to sneak through the Nexus Plaza. That's the first place you go. And as you reach up, you pull something out, and then you just see the tiniest little wire break. And a little light clicks on and clicks off very quickly in that shelf. And you recognize a silent alarm being triggered.
I hate computers. Update sit rep. Whatever we're doing, we need to go now. I, in my haste to assist, have triggered an alarm.
I will say, you do think you have a right map.
I have a way out of here, but we need to move fast.
Triggered an alarm? What?
Point up to the blinking light.
It obligingly lights up again very briefly and then stops.
I don't know why he would have these things alarmed, but here we are.
Would Glade know who that alarm would alert?
He kind of just told you.
The person who has affiliations with the Scotsman.
Does that mean the Scotsman's coming here?
Probably best case scenario right now would be to leave Caspi here now that he's been medically comed with painkillers. So many painkillers. And
He was in pain.
and now he's in nothing.
He'll be fine.
People are on their way. Wherever we're going, we need to decide if we're going there immediately or we're waiting it out to see what happens here.
I'm not an overly sentimental gentleman, but if that alarm is triggered to organized crime elements in the city, won't they just dispose of him rather than bring him to medical attention? They don't want to be involved in this either.
But like I said, he's a very valuable mind.
He was, when he could see things.
Oh.
Pyotr, you don't know anything.
There's all sorts of cybernetics that could be put in his head, giving his eyes back.
Look, okay. I need to finalize some business with the Scotsman. So I think all of you should leave, and I'll stay here, and I'll catch up.
Glade, I am sorry about your friend. I'm sorry. If that's what you need to do, then okay.
The book can't be here when the Scotsman gets here.
No, that's why I take the book. Yeah, she can't be here when he gets here.
What business do you have with him?
That's none of your concern.
Is that your concern, Faith?
To be honest, I don't remember entirely. Is that my concern? Have I met the Scotsman?
I don't
No.
think Juno has met the Scotsman.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
More,
I don't even know if she's heard of him before.
Yeah.
More asking.
Probably
Is
not.
it your
Unless it would be from you.
But I don't think I've
No.
referenced him.
No.
I'm more asking. Is it your concern that we leave the captain behind here and
Why are
get
you
you
calling
in the
me
book
captain?
out? Because I met you as a captain of a ship, and yeah, you gave it to someone else, but yeah.
I trust Glade, and I don't know who this Scottish man is, but if he will help us, then I trust her.
Well, I didn't say he'd help us, but you should just leave.
You have to be fine. You have to promise me you will be okay and that you will survive.
Yeah, I promise.
Make a psychology, and you can oppose it with either persuade or fast talk, depending on what you think Glade is. Yeah, whether she's telling the truth or not.
Okay, so I gotta fail.
I got a success. But I think what Juno sees is maybe a little bit of fear.
Yeah, I would say, with a failure, you can tell that, obviously Glade wants to survive, but she's not entirely sure. Like, she doesn't even know, per se, how this is going to go. And sure, I'd say there's some fear.
Thank you for promising. Be safe, Glade. And Juno wraps up the book, makes sure that it's very, very, very well wrapped, and starts to collect things to leave.
Does Caspi have another tome or something roughly the same size as the book?
Make a, this would be a luck check as well.
If we trigger a second alarm,
That's a fail.
A fail.
More Scotsmans will appear.
Yeah. That's it. The Scotsman's brother, the Scotsman man.
bagpipes from all around. Scotsman man. Scotsman man.
Scotsman man.
Putting the Scot in man.
He just repeats everything the Scotsman says. You find there are other like books there, but there's nothing really similar in size and shape.
I'll just ignore it. Okay. Where are we going?
Before we leave, can I go over to the map shelf and just grab like 2 or 3 random maps?
Sure. Just go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
That's a 34.
Okay.
34 alarms go off.
They don't need to be in like the high interest zone, but I just
you grab let's say 3 random maps.
Okay.
Alrighty. As you are doing that, Doug, who's just kind of staring at the body of Caspi. He says, I got a glimpse of its mind.
And what did you see, Doug?
And he kind of gives this cold smile that doesn't touch his eyes. And he just says, ooh, I saw potential. Looks at you, Pyotr. Says, I wanted to burn it all down. And I think we just caught the first spark.
Pyotr does a shrug, like a Danny DeVito shrug. Like a...
Tom just flapped his arms. He says, I think we should help the partition. Imagine if we were able to deny.
Doug, you've had a long day, my good friend. Maybe we chat about this later.
I can't keep putting this off. And you can see him just kind of like grit his teeth. He just says, this is our chance. This is an entity that can actually maybe put a dent in all this bullshit. And he just kind of like waves his hands around. This is the opportunity to burn it all down. I have no idea if this entity could succeed, but if we could...
Doug, this entity just burned out Caspi's eyes.
He kind of like blinks for a second. Make a persuade roll for me.
That's a success.
He blinks and he stops and he looks down. Okay.
That thing can go to fucking hell.
Pyotr's gonna put one hand on Doug's shoulder and just go, later, Doug, later. And I'll roll a persuade check. And that's a success.
Okay. He just kind of shakes his head a little bit and then he just nods.
So we're leaving Glade with Caspi and we're going?
Is that what you guys are doing?
Go to your stupid university. I'll meet you there.
I need to drop by the condo I've been allocated. I need to clean up before this ceremony.
All right, well.
You're all welcome, I guess.
Let's get going. Be safe, Glade.
You be safe. I'll be fine.
And Juno is like probably about 5 or 6 meters away from Glade, just looking back. With a deep breath. I will. We will. See you soon. And walks out.
You all go with her?
Yeah, Pyotr's at the door after checking for more traps.
Asteroids.
As soon as he walks out the door.
Yeah.
All right. 3 of you leave. Doug just kind of looks at you, Glade. And he just points to Caspi. He says, you don't have to martyr yourself.
Look, I'm not planning on martyring myself. I work with the Scotsman, and I have debts to settle, so I just need to close this chapter, and I will follow.
All right.
And I can't leave a friend hanging.
I understand. Be well, Glade.
You too, man.
He follows.
Splitting the party!
Splitting the party. Okay. As everyone leaves, Glade, what does Glade think is going to happen?
Glade thinks representatives of the Scotsman are going to show up. And upon seeing her, will hopefully chill out because they know her. And she's going to pay her debts. And hopefully Caspi's connection with the Scotsman will get him help. And I will walk away.
Flawless. Flawless plan.
Okay, well, that happens. And then you meet up with the rest of the party.
Yeah. But before that, Glade wants to do something.
Okay, what is Glade doing after everyone leaves?
Glade wants to start looking and rummaging around Caspi's hoard of shit.
Okay. Are you looking for something specific?
Yes.
All right. What are you looking for?
Masks.
Interesting. Would Caspi have, like, are these Glades masks that Caspi has, or just...
No, just he's a hoarder. He has so much shit.
That's a fair play.
Know.
Fair play.
Fingers crossed for Oni Mask Glade. Metal as hell.
Oh my god.
Oni Mask?
Fucking Caspi would 100%
Yeah,
have
that's
a
what
Oni
I'm
mask.
saying.
Yeah, you know what? This is not a luck check. It is a spot hidden check, and you need the most basic of successes to find his Oni mask.
It's like a Japanese demon mask for everyone who's like me.
Yeah.
For everyone like me.
For everyone who's,
For everybody else out there eating a mayonnaise sandwich, it's a Japanese demon mask. Thanks for listening.
For all my Paul Krugman knowers, this is a Japanese demon mask.
Okay, so I'm doing a spot hidden.
yeah, make a spot hidden check.
Okay.
I'll give you a bonus dice because it's your buddy.
Good. Good. I'm gonna spend. Fuck. No, it's still a lot of fucking luck. Fuck.
What do you need luck for?
You're Glade. You have skills.
That's a pretty good argument.
That's a pretty good argument.
Wait, is it gonna be an Oni mask if I succeed?
You don't know.
Oh, shit.
No, you know what? Yeah, I want you to spend your luck. Yeah, 100% it's an Oni mask. It's the coolest. It's going to be the coolest. It's going to be so sick. It's going to be to have lasers. laser pointers.
Laser pointers. Okay.
Would this change your mind? You're going to find a kind of mask if you fail.
Someone give me highs or lows.
Highs.
She does not succeed in spot hidden.
Okay. You do find a mask. And conveniently, it actually would cover almost the entirety of your face. It would actually go over your hair. Catherine just held up a picture of the most unhinged mask
What? I
I've
didn't
ever
see
seen.
it.
It's from Death Note, and it's the mask
Death Note?
that Elle wears
Oh, yeah.
when he's going out in public and doesn't want anybody to see his face.
Why is the dick hole so small in the mask?
I was just thinking, why is it so huge?
Anyways.
So, well, actually, that is a great segue into the mask you find. So with the driver mask, it can actually be kind of like difficult for Glade to eat. But with this one, fortunately, there is a zipper across the mouth. Fortunately. There even look to be places on the side of the head, for attachments of various sorts. You assume maybe like a flashlight or like a laser pointer.
An A? That's flashlight with an A?
Flashlight with an A, yes.
Tactical mask.
Yeah, and it's black and it's leather. And it covers your whole head. And you find it. It doesn't smell like it's been washed recently.
Oh my God.
Insult to injury here.
Put it on. Put it on.
Put it on. Put it on.
Don't do that.
There's no official poison damage in this game, but we'll make that happen.
That's the only mask I find.
That's the only mask you find. That's not true. You do find an Oni mask, but it looks like it's been like affixed permanently as like a display piece. And when you take it down, you would have to like totally rebuild it in order to make it into a wearable mask.
Okay. She doesn't take any of the masks.
So surprising, really?
Okay, wow. Here I am just trying to hit you up with epic loot, and you're just, okay.
Maybe if it wasn't dirty.
This is why Soul gave us washing machines, but okay. You do see a tag on it.
Nobody's putting a leather mask in a washing machine.
This one, it's the future, Alex. It's machine
nano
washable.
leather. Nano
Yeah.
leather.
It's nano washable. Okay, you look for the masks. No more really than like 5-10 minutes later, the door just kind of opens and 3 armed and armored gunmen come in, all wearing ski masks. They kind of like fix their rifles on you.
Yeah, preemptively, like Glade had her hands up.
Smart. They don't shoot. They show excellent trigger discipline.
Oh, good.
And
So glad.
One of them basically just kind of like comes up to you, and they still maintain enough distance that you wouldn't be able to like kind of jump and get their rifle, but they keep their gun trained on you. The other 2 kind of like show up, and you can see them pull out like a little diagnostic kit that usually could be used to like plug into someone's cybernetic and kind of give a readout of how they're doing, like their physical state. But they go to find the port that's usually kind of behind a flap of skin in the ear. And you just hear them say, "This is totally fucking burned out. What the fuck happened here?"
Is he asking you specifically?
They're just like, they're asking to the room, but you can answer if you want.
Can I speak?
The guy pointing the rifle at you just kind of nods.
So he got possessed by some kind of AI entity, and it burned out his cybernetics.
just kind of like look at each other. You can see the guy who's holding the gun on you. He says, "Wait, I've seen you around. You're Glade, right?"
Yeah.
Glade Walker?
Yeah.
Well, if you were gonna lie, I think you'd come up with a better one.
Yeah, probably.
Then you can see him just hit a comm. And he just says, "Hey, Frank, we found her." "Yep, okay." Touches his ear. Says, "You armed?"
I just have my whip.
"All right, put it on the ground. Slide it over to me."
All right. I don't know why you're being so touchy still. You know who I am.
One of the other riflemen gets up, puts his gun on you. The first one leans down, gets your whip.
Now watch me nay-nay.
She has been waiting for 1.5 seasons. God fucking damn. That was, what is that, 17 episodes you've been waiting to drop that? Good God. And it was worth every second. It was worth every second. Well, that's the podcast, guys.
Yeah,
we're done now.
Yeah, Leah's packing your shit up, actually.
Whoa, she's smashing our soundboard? What the fuck? No. He pulls out a zip tie, a long one. He tosses it. He says, "Cuff yourself."
Why? That would be hard.
Yeah, it would be tricky.
That'd be really hard, actually.
He just says,
Alex and Tom are
No, I
just
guess-
trying to figure out
yeah, like
how they would do that.
logistically, how that would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leah, who knows way more about this shit, is also confused.
I don't know any zip ties.
He just says, we're just erring on the side of caution.
What?
Just cuff yourself.
Okay. Is Frank coming?
Yeah, Frank's on his way.
Glade doesn't believe him.
Okay.
Because Brian's eyes shifted as he made his character lie.
Just so the audience knows, I'm an incredible liar. No, his eyes shift and he says, "Well, you'll get to talk to Frank.
Where are we going?
We're gonna take you both. We gotta take Caspi to the hospital.
Okay.
Well, not to the hospital, to our guy. We call it the hospital.
He's called the hospital.
He's called the hospital. He's a fucking unit. He's so huge.
An emergency unit.
And every now and then he just goes, boop. But I don't know. But he says, we're going to take him to our guy named the hospital. And Frank will be there. And he wants to talk to you.
All right.
That's really funny.
Cannon. All right. Glade grabs zip tie and starts to feed it through, puts both her wrists through it, and then using her mouth, pulls it tighter, but not so tight. Actually, you know what? No, fuck it. She pulls it tight.
Okay, I was going to make you make a zip tie mouth check. Because I presume you put skills into zip tie mouth.
Oh, yeah.
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 Amazing.
But she does it in a way that her right wrist is outward.
Weird. For no reason. we
No
assume.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom is now also trying to figure out the logistics, how that would work. Okay, I'm going to give them a check here. You can see them kind of look at it. And
This is really awkward doing this myself.
yeah, of course. We understand. The one guy just kind of like looks at you, narrows his eyes. And you can see them just kind of look at each other and seem to make some sort of silent agreement.
Are we going or what?
Say, yeah. One guy goes out first. Second guy kind of like fireman carries... Not fireman carries. Is that the one where you put them across your back? Yeah. Fireman carries Caspi.
Isn't that over one shoulder?
That's over one shoulder. Okay, yeah. Never mind. Then he does that one. He does that over one shoulder. Cool. Caspi. And... he goes out second, and then the gunman who's got his gun on you just points for you to go.
All right. You don't have to point it at me. Jesus.
It's okay. Okay. They lead you out of the Nexus Market. The lights are down. You can still hear sounds of panicking. We'll pause you there, actually, because that makes sense. The rest of the team, you guys left Caspi's joint. Where are you going?
Why is it dark in here?
It's super dark. There are sounds of like panic still. You can see as you kind of like, go out into like the terrace that kind of looks down into the maw of the Nexus Market. You can see it looks like, some people have turned on the lights on their personal data center. Some people have flashlights, but it seems to be pretty chaotic still.
Well, I don't think we're going to be able to get a taxi in this mess. We'll have to walk, I'm afraid.
Are we particularly far away from Usage City?
You guys are in the Nexus Plaza, so you're basically one sector over. You're one sector over from the Nexus Plaza. Or from the Haven. The Haven where Usage City is. Right? Yeah. Usage City.
Tell us, Keeper.
Yeah, you tell us, Keeper, you piece of shit. Yep, Usage City's in the Haven.
I think the Haven's this way. You're all welcome to come.
I did take a map. Could help get us where we need
Is
to
it
go.
a map of where we're going?
I was told it'd be a map I was looking for. So.
Were you looking for a map to the Haven? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be a dick.
I don't know.
You realize, it is a map of like a lot of the kind of like service corridors that connect the various sections of the city, which is definitely why it was in the trapped part of Caspi's collection. As you go to reach for that map, your data center buzzes, and it's from Jax. It just says, "You have 2 hours," and then it sends that location in the locks again.
Cool.
Is that what you text back? Cool, period.
Yeah, I think I'll respond and say understood.
Okay. You look at the map. You do see a way of getting to the Haven. You won't have to go through any of the official checkpoints. It'll probably take you to walk there probably about an hour, assuming you don't get lost in the tunnels.
How comfortable are we going through the tunnels?
Is there light in the tunnels?
I don't know.
Well, I suppose it's better than getting into any type of entanglements. Lead on.
Very well. Faith, you okay with that?
Yes. Pyotr, do you need to go to your...
No, I went in Caspi's, thank you.
Fine.
I appreciate it. As you get older, these things become more frequent,
I would rather not talk about this anymore. Continue. Let's go. And she starts taking a big step in a direction.
And I will start leading in the correct direction.
Which is, of course, the opposite direction.
Pyotr just puts a hand on Doug's shoulder as they go, just to make sure he's coming along.
Yeah. Doug, you detect just the barest hint of resistance, but he does follow you. Alrighty, you guys make your way to the Haven. We will pause you there as flash forward into the future, where there are robots, beep, borp, where Glade is being led out into the Nexus Market. It is still dark. At this point now, like kind of some red emergency lights have started to come up. The Scotsman's men are very clearly kind of taking advantage of the chaos here, and they will lead you basically out to the ring road that surrounds the Nexus Market, and you can see they have a van like waiting there with door open. The one kind of like jumps into the driver's seat and
Kicks a dead Jesuit.
like, can you believe we just found this? This is crazy.
It was there.
Yeah, this is crazy. Things people throw away. But one jumps into the driver's seat. The other one, who is kind of like fireman carrying Caspi, like gets in, and you can see they do have something of like a gurney set up, and so they set up Caspi on it, strap him in, and then the one following you is like, get in.
All right. Glad he gets in.
Okay. Closes the thing. You can see he's not like actively pointing his rifle at you, but he has it like constantly in kind of like a ready position, and his eyes like are just locked on you. You drive for maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so, and you can kind of hear them going through the checkpoint to the locks. Drive for another 10, 15 minutes, and then you pull up outside. It looks like a club. Alastar would recognize this club. Door kind of opens. There's more guys. They grab the gurney, wheel it inside. As you step out of the van, you see Frank there. Just this kind of unreadable expression on his face. He looks down to your hands and then back up to you.
Frank, what the fuck is this?
He just wants to have a talk with you, kid.
Yeah, he always wants to have a talk.
Kind of like gestures with his head. He leads you inside, and the club is like eerily silent. There is there's just a guy there, and then he gets shot. No,
it's just like a silent disco party.
It's a silent disco. No. So the club is empty, completely empty. No bartender, no staff, like anywhere to be seen.
What time of day is it right now?
It's probably like getting on evening, I think, at this point. Because it was the day cycle of the station when you guys left Juno's place.
Right, and we were going to stay the night at Caspy's.
You were.
But then the thing happened.
Then things happened, yeah. So yeah, probably like getting towards the evening here. This is absolutely the time when the club should be open.
Right.
And there, sitting in the table in the middle of the dance floor, is the Scotsman. And he's just sitting there, and he's got a bottle of whiskey. You can tell even from this distance, it's the same bottle that you kept at your place. 2 glasses.
So fucking theatrical.
And there is a cardboard box sitting on the table with a little bow on it.
Dear God.
And as you get closer, everyone who is kind of with you, the guys, like they leave the room, and it's just you and Frank. Frank pulls out a little switchblade, and he kind of goes to like cut your zip tie, and you see him pull out his data center. Let's go. Hit a couple buttons. You feel this weird tingling from your right arm.
What the fuck?
Then cuts the zip tie. Does Glade have any obvious weapons on her?
No.
No. Okay.
No, she lost her rifle at Juno's house.
That's right. Go have a seat, kid.
Does Glade know what just happened?
Make an intelligence check for me.
That's a hard success.
Hard success. You know that that kind of sensory feedback that you get is usually your nerves responding to one of your cybernetic enhancements having an emergency shutdown.
I have any idea like how they would be able to do that?
If they were the ones who paid to have it installed and they set that up, maybe they backdoored a kill switch into it.
Well, don't they think of everything? Fuck.
You can see as Frank gets closer and cuts the zip tie off, he goes to leave, and just as he's like, kind of gives you a look, and you see his eyes are just a little sad, and then he leaves the room.
Mm-hmm.
The Scotsman from the middle of the room just kind of smiles and says, Glade, you look like you've had quite a busy couple of days. Have a seat.
Yeah, I have. She starts walking over. And look, I'm just here to settle my debts like we had agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I have the money for the implants. I can pay it in full, and I can give extra for, I know...
Glade, you wound me. The agreement was for you to get the preacher to the station. And by all accounts, you've done so.
Mm-hmm.
I said I would cover it. Let's not squibble and squabble about credits. Have a seat. Have a drink with me, Glade.
All right.
Sits down, and the bottle of scotch is there. Glade's favorite whiskey. And you can see both glasses are empty. And,
do you want me to pour it, or...?
No. Floop. Pours a little bit for Glade, a little bit for himself. Pushes the glass across to you and holds it up. Holds his up.
Glade grabs hers and clinks.
Clink. Takes a little sip, puts it down.
So does Glade.
Well...
So what's this about?
You know, there's all sorts of stories about Reapers and what they go through. All sorts of tales of what can happen to a mind when you take that many memories away from it. But one of my favorite stories is the story of the Reaper who managed to go AWOL successfully. He never lost his memories. He remembered everything he ever did for the Navy, and no one knows who he is. He just kind of smiles at you. And then you see, just like poking from under the Scotsman's button-down shirt, is a device at the base of his neck that looks very similar to the yoke that the Reapers wear during their service that feeds them. The aquabelly. Anyway, the substance that enables them to use their cybernetics willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time Glade's ever seen it?
The first time it might have like been brought to your attention because it kind of seems like he's almost like trying to get you to look at it. Like he's usually very like quite buttoned up. This is like got a couple buttons undone, and you actually notice as well like his like cufflinks are undone, his sleeves are rolled up. He just says, all of this was built by a dead man. He just gestures to the warehouse, gestures to everything around him. I built it from the ground up, and I did it with my bare fucking teeth. And so believe it, Glade, when I say that whenever I see that in someone else, whenever I see that ferocity, Glade, I love it. Even if it's directed at me. Because it reminds me of the chaos and the climb to get to where I am today. And he pushes the box over to you.
How big is it?
It's like, I would say maybe like is that a foot?
Sure. Yeah.
We'll say a foot by a foot by a foot.
Foot by foot by foot by foot.
Yeah.
What's
There's a foot inside this box.
What's this?
Do you understand how boxes work? Open it.
Okay. She opens it.
Undo the bow. Open the flaps. Glade would have been familiar with the face of the leader of the Redcoats gang. And you can see the curly white wig that he'd had surgically implanted to his scalp. The bottoms tinged with blood as his severed head stares back at you from this cardboard box. He says, ferocity. Oh, I love ferocity.
Well, fuck.
But stupidity, Glade. You went for the first enemy of mine you could think of, and you exposed yourself immediately in doing it. I had such high hopes for you.
What are you talking about?
He's kind of like tilts his head, right? Pulls out his little data center and then slides it across to you, and you can see basically just a transcription of you texting the leader of the Redcoats that you were ready to move on the Scotsman. He says, did you think that I had people in that organization? Walk me through it, Glade. What was your plan here?
Plan was letting off steam. I did nothing with it. Look, and she takes out her data center and shows like the last message that the Redcoats had sent, like asking, like confirming, like I can't remember what it said. But the one I didn't like respond.
They're basically just like you up. No, it was
Have thou arisen?
Have thou arisen? Good. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the wording of it was, but just basically like we're ready to move on your. Yeah. He says, "Oh, so you got cold feet."
No, I didn't never plan to go through with it.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Make a persuade roll for me. I'm never gonna give Juno another persuade roll. It's all gonna be Glade.
Oh, that's a hard success.
A hard success. Glade.
There was a lot of stress, and look, I can lose my temper, okay? And sure, yeah, was it completely idiotic to contact the Redcoats? But you know what? Look, it turned out just fine. You got their fucking leader, like.
Well, I have been looking for an excuse to move on them for quite some time now. That is true. And you provided that.
I'm not a complete idiot.
And he just glances down at your text message to the Redcoat leader again, and then glances back up at you and kind of cocks his eyebrow.
Yes, we all do stupid shit.
Put yourself in my shoes, Glade. What would you do?
Honestly, couldn't say. Slap on the wrist?
Well, I've already done that. And he indicates down to your deactivated cybernetic blade. What was your plan? Let's invent a hypothetical scenario here. You go through with it. They succeed. And you kill me. What did you want, Glade? And you sense that the answer to this question is very important to how the Scotsman will proceed.
Cosmin, look. Do I love you? Fuck no. Okay. Do we do good business? Yes. Is there a lot of people I want to kill in this world? Yes. Are there moments where I get outraged and have those sentiments? Yes. I'm not one to fucking kiss your hands and feet, okay? I am straight up. I always have been.
You still haven't told me what your plan was.
There wasn't a plan.
There was a time when I watched you work, and I thought there might be a place for you in this organization. But if there is no plan, and you were just thrusting your anger out into the void, well, that's very disappointing, Glade. He stands up, just kind of cracks his neck. Well, you wanted a shot. Then he closes his fists, kind of takes up a stance, gives you a big smile.
Fight.
Fuck.
Play the Doom soundtrack.
Can you answer me honestly this, Scotsman?
Honesty for honesty, Glade.
Am I getting out of here without a fight?
Go ahead. I'm not going to get you to make a psychology check here, because that's not the language that you two are speaking at this moment. I'll get you to make a fighting brawl check to get a read on the Scotsman.
I do enjoy that. I'm gonna spend 2 luck to make that extreme success.
Hell yeah. Imagine if you had to use that to attack him. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what, Brian?
That was rude. That was
I'm trying not to die.
No, that's smart. Okay. An extreme motherfucking hell-ass goddamn pants-shitting success. Incredible.
Some pants may have been shit.
Some pants might have been shat upon. As you ask that, you can just see he's ready to fight you, and he kind of wants to, because there is a question. There's always a question between two warriors of like, who would come out on top if we just scrapped? There is something about the way that he set this up that you know that if you fight and you win, you can walk out of here. However, if you think you're getting out of here without a fight, you get the sense that he needs something from you. There's a chance, basically. As he's not answering you physically, but you can see, like, he needs something from you in order to be able to let you leave. So I will say this as well. It's either fight, figure out what it is he needs from you, or you're not leaving here at all.
Glade looks down at the table. The whiskey glass still in her hand. Let's dance. And she shoves the whiskey in his face.
Let's go! All fucking right.
Oh, fuck me. Yes.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, let me find his stats.
See, Leah loves this. It's so cool, but also is like, no.
Shit. Okay, so, Glade, you have thrown the whiskey in his face. Fucking hell yeah. What is your dex?
65.
65. Okay, excellent. Alrighty, let's fucking go. Glade, you are throwing the whiskey. That would usually be your attack. However, it's tight as hell. So go ahead and make a dex check for me. Yep. If you get a success on this, you can do this and then have an attack.
That's
hell yeah. Okay, sweet. You throw the whiskey. Yeah, you throw the whiskey at him. I'm gonna have him make a check here to see. Holy shit! He rolled a 28. Whiskey. Yeah, he rolled a whiskey. So he also got a success. Basically, as you throw the whiskey, you can see even as like you gathered yourself up just to like throw the whiskey. You can see this is not the Scotsman's first brawl. He was like ready and in a stance, and you can see him just immediately put up like a boxer's block, kind of like right in front of his face. The whiskey like splashes off of it, but it did have the intended effect of, by blocking, kind of both forearms in front of his face, he did temporarily blind himself for a second. You have an opening for your first attack as you go first.
I know it's just brawl checks, but I'm gonna kick him in the knee.
Hell yeah. Okay, fucking, I love it. All right, go ahead and make a brawl check. At this time, he is going to try to fight back. It's going to be a straight roll. So he has to beat your level of success.
Yeah. Hard success.
He rolled a 90, so...
Woo!
So as you're coming in, like, you scoot the chair back, you shove the table aside, and you can see him just react
Well, I was
to
gonna
it.
use the table.
Well, I mean, you have to, if you said you're going to attack his knee.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're trying to swing the table into his knee?
No, I'm gonna use the table later.
Okay, that's fine. You didn't
Okay.
You didn't annihilate the table. The table disintegrated into dust.
Is that like spinning like
Yeah, it's just like
game?
yeah, it's Bethesda glitching,
yeah.
like just like. That's the other room. No, you shove the table aside, and you can see him react to the noise, and then just throw this fucking crazy haymaker. You just duck under it, and then just like deliver a blow right to the side of his leg. Go ahead and roll your damage.
1.
Hell yeah. He's dead. That's insane.
That was his 1 week spot.
That was it. You hit the off button. Yeah, so you kick him in the knee. You don't quite, get him right on the joint. He kind of like turns it in as he sees you throw that kick, and you hit the top of his leg, and you obviously like you can see his pants rip as like the side of your boot catches it, and you like tear his flesh open. Blood starts gushing, and you see him just. That's fucking right, Glade. And he goes, and he is going to first activate his adrenal override. And you can see his pupils, like even just that second time slows down, you see his pupils just narrow to tiny little pinpricks. And he is going to fucking just, again, throw another haymaker at you, but he's moving faster than he should be able to. Are you going to dodge or fight back? Okay, sweet. So you have to tie or get better. And he gets a bonus dice on this.
Regular success.
Okay. He his brawl. That is a hard success for him. Wait, is it? 1 second. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna pull up the calculator here. No, that is actually a regular success. Never mind. Okay. All right. He goes to throw another haymaker at you, like faster than you think is possible. You manage to like duck under it, and he, as he misses, he just kind of like pivots his feet, brings his hands back up, and he's just grinning. Back to your turn.
Don't you miss a turn because you dodged?
No, that's for gunfire. That's diving for cover.
That's time recovery. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I'll just try to go in for a punch.
Hell yeah. All right, go ahead and make your brawl check.
Hard success.
A hard fucking hell-ass success. He's fighting back. He's obviously fighting back.
And as I'm going in for the punch, she's going to say, I didn't realize we need cybernetics as a crutch.
Okay. He doesn't seem to be bothered. But yeah, give me 1 sec, because he's going to fight back. Oh, holy shit.
Fail.
What degree of success did you get?
Like a really good, hard success.
He just misses an extreme success. Whew, hell yeah. Okay, go ahead and roll your damage. You're doing really well against him so far.
Bit by bit. Yay! 3 damage.
3 points of damage. Hell yeah.
Get him in the gut or something.
Yeah, as he throws this haymaker, you turn around and square off. You change your level, like you're gonna go low, and he kind of like drops his hands to guard, and you come up with like this crazy overhand. You just kind of catch him. You can see he kind of like turned his chin down, but you catch him like right below the eye. And he's kind of, and you can see like it start to immediately swell up, and he's gonna come right back at you. But that being said, so you said that thing. Said that thing that you said, and he just goes, "If you thought this was gonna be a fair fight, whoa, Glade." And then he doesn't follow that up with anything.
Just the punch.
Just the punch. Okay, he's not rolling terribly well. You got a regular success. Dodging.
That's a fail.
A failure. Okay. All right. The Scotsman is a big guy, so he gets bonus dice.
Oh, that's all.
Not a bonus dice. He gets a damage bonus.
Oh, okay. But
which is 1d20. I'm kidding.
Hopefully it's only a 1 damage bonus.
So he does 3 points of damage
Ow.
As you hit him with this overhand, he kind of like, he says his lines anime style, so you'll have a lot of time while your fist is connecting, speed lines, everything in the background. He just kind of like, as his eyes are closed, he just throws this uppercut that like kind of blasts right through your guard, just catches you on the chin, knocks your head back. You immediately taste blood. It is your turn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna swing at him again.
Okay, it's worth noting at this point, he has, whereas previously he was right in the pocket there with you, at this point, as you're like coming for him, you can see him kind of take like a step back and actually like kind of create more distance. He is going to dodge.
Hard success.
Hard success. Okay, he also got a hard success. So you go to like launch a jab at him to try to get him to close his eyes, and he just parries it with like a step back, and he's like out of your range for your follow-up punch. He's coming at you again.
Dodging.
All right.
5. Hard success.
You know what? He also got just a hard success. Okay. Yeah, hell yeah. He's coming at you again, and you, he's moving, again, still blindingly fast, but you are able to just kind of read his body language, and so you cover, and while there is this, like, thud of impact as his punch hits your arm as you're blocking your head, and it does, like, ring your bells a little bit, you do not take any damage. It is back to your turn.
Going in for a punch.
Hell yeah. At this point, he's dodging now as well.
Is he?
He's learned his lesson.
Oh, fuck yes. Extreme success.
Yeah.
He also got an extreme success. He rolled a 3. He rolled a 3. You, at this point now, though, the reason that your attack doesn't hit is you see his approach, even in just this, like, initial exchange. It's only been, like, a few seconds. He has totally changed his outlook of, like, total aggression to, like, now he's respecting it. When you come in to attack him, he is responding. And he is actually, like, he just kind of, like, dodges way back, and he's, like, way out of your range. And you can see him just, like, smiling, and while it does seem that there's this manic expression on his face, you can just see he's, like, calculating. He's calculating constantly. And you get a bit of insight as to how the Scotsman ended up where he ended up at the top of the underworld.
Sucking dick.
Sucking dick. Hell yeah. Fucking. Yep. So, he's coming at you again. Believe it or not.
Wait, don't tell me. I'm gonna fight back.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, you gotta match his success.
I know. Oh, no. That's a fail.
You got an extreme success.
Oh.
So, for bludgeoning damage, he doesn't just get full damage. I think it's whatever the dice is doubled for his critical hit.
Is it a critical?
Yeah, it's extreme success. Oh. So for piercing weapons, you just get full damage of your dice, then you roll again, you add it to it. For bludgeoning, which is unarmed, he just, whatever he gets on the dice, he doubles it.
But, okay, wait. What's wrong with Adrenal Override?
Adrenal Override, user can activate this device to gain a bonus dice on strength, dex, con, or close quarters combat checks. But at the end of their turn, must make a con check regular success. On a failure, they take 1d8 damage and fall unconscious for 1d3 rounds, unless you have Aqua Belai coursing through your veins.
Yeah. So like could I use that to re-roll that fail roll?
I would say, I think the way that I've been rolling it, like, he didn't activate his Adrenal Override on your turn as a reaction. I think you'd have to do it on your turn.
Not good, guys.
Don't look.
Yeah, I'm fucked. Okay.
So, he rolled a 1d3 plus a 1d4.
Jesus Christ.
I rolled on the d3, I got 3.
Fuck.
On the d4, I got 3.
Fuck.
6 points of damage.
Double?
I believe it's doubled, but I'm going to double check that right now.
Brian, I swear to God.
It doesn't double. I was incorrect. In fact, I shouldn't have rolled, because you don't get the max damage of the dice and then roll the dice again. You just get the max damage of the dice. That's possible. Max damage of the weapon plus the bonus damage. In this case, that would be 3 plus 4. So you take 7 points of damage, not 12 points of damage.
Well, I'm at -2 health.
Okay. As he's kind of like grinning, he blurs, and you go to slip to the side, and then you just feel his hand just close in on your throat, and you kind of like immediately your eyes like track to him, and there's just this flash of like this grinning, bleeding face from the wound you've inflicted before his forehead crashes into the bridge of your nose.
Nanoleather's really strong.
He dies.
Yeah.
Instantly. His brain explodes out the back of his head. No, you feel your nose crack, and then you feel a hand kind of like grip the buckle of your pants, and he just kind of like lifts you up and then slams you on the concrete. And as you're lying there, he just puts a foot on your chest as you're fading out of consciousness. He just touches the bloody wound on his cheek. He says, no one's bled me for years, Glade. And just before you pass out, he says, you and I are gonna do such beautiful things together. And you lose consciousness.
Ew. Fuck.
Oh dear.
Ah!
All right.
That was quicker than I thought.
Yeah. It only takes one good hit.
Yeah.
And he's a big guy. He's a big
Yeah.
guy, which makes a big difference.
The good thing is that you can then go see the hospital.
Alrighty. The rest of you.
So sweaty. Okay.
You make your way through the tunnels. These particular tunnels are reasonably well lit. So, this is definitely not a, like when you were traveling through those secret tunnels. Secret tunnel. When you were traveling through the other tunnels before you left Gate City, you make your way through to the Haven. You manage to bypass any sort of checks or stoppages that you see, that might have been in the, I believe last episode we confirmed it as the sphincter between the different sections of the city.
We just Metamucil our way through that.
You Metamucil the shit out of it. Absolutely. You make your way to Pyotr's condo. Alastar, the time it takes you to do this, you have about an hour or so left to make it to the locks if you want to get the book and drop it off.
Yep.
What are you guys doing?
Alastar, you look a little sweaty. Is everything okay? I have it's a very nice shower. I think some of Doug's clothes are in there. I told him we had a washing machine, but he said it didn't seem right.
Thank you, Pyotr. No, got a lot on my mind right now. And a shower, no matter how nice it could be, is not the solution for what I have to do here.
Okay, well, make yourself at home. I don't pay for any of the utilities or groceries in here, so,
Thank you.
suit yourself.
As you guys walk through, there is a puddle of water that seems to have come out of the kitchen area. And if you investigate it, you can see the door to the refrigerator having been kind of duct taped, slightly closed with obviously a human hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just sticking out of it at an odd angle.
Doug,
Yeah.
what's this?
Do you not remember? This was the solution that we came up with because they wouldn't fit in the fridge. I believe, we both had duct tape fixes everything.
So dry goods only for groceries then, I'm afraid. Dry goods only. Anyways, I will need to retire to my chambers here. I have an extraordinarily important speech to give tomorrow morning, I believe. Let me check my calendar. And he just looks at Doug.
Yep.
Tomorrow morning, Doug? Does that seem right to you?
That sounds about right. I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's tomorrow morning.
Okay. In that case, Doug, why don't you, if you'll accompany me to my my balcony, we could chat briefly.
All right. And he steps out with you.
This is Pyotr's condo, right?
Yeah. As far as you're aware.
Would it be safe to assume now when it would be made ready for the illustrious man of the current future? Did they put a copy of his book in here?
Yes.
Am I far off from saying it would be roughly the same size as an ancient tome that no one would ever read.
Please.
There's a lot of eye rolling, Brian.
Yeah. It's exactly the same size as the Librum Dementi.
Yes!
Also bound in human skin.
Also,
So hard to find nano leather these days.
and it whispers to you and it drinks blood and it does all the shit. Yeah, no, you're fucking right. Absolutely.
This is actually canonical for supply side economics textbooks.
That's all I wanted to check. Please proceed.
Okay.
Pyotr's going to look out into the distance at the synthetic sunset that's going on, and just without looking at Doug, go, I understand you want to help our friend party. Is that still true, Doug?
You can see him put his hands on the railing. He just says, he might be right, Pyotr. I've seen some of the worst. I've done some of the worst that humanity has to offer. Maybe we don't deserve our time at the wheel anymore.
Well, Doug, I take your point. Sometimes you need a strong hand to get things back on track. I tell you what, Doug, I have to give this speech tomorrow about my work and my book. You've read my book, right, Doug?
Yep.
Can I roll fucking...
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a hard success on
Hard
psychology.
success. He has not even... He can't remember the name of your book.
Pyotr just pats him on the shoulder and goes, "That's quite all right. I will confess there are chapters I have not read myself."
Chat GPT'd his own book.
But there's one part of it. I think it's page, 1462 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. A lot of O's.
It's actually quite important. I'm going to be giving a speech about it tomorrow, and you may like what I say in that speech. So I guess what I'm asking, Doug, is this. Let me make the speech. Help me make the speech. And if the speech doesn't go the way I'd like it to, I will help you in party. You have my word.
Is Pyotr telling the truth? Wait, you don't have to tell me. Roll either a persuade or a fast talk check.
That is a hard success.
Let me check his stats. You got a hard success?
Hard success.
Okay. You don't have to tell me which one it is. He looks at you and he just slowly nods. He says, "How will I help you give a speech, though?"
Well, there's just a few things I was hoping you would help me with. The first one is I have a friend in the media industry. I was hoping you could contact him and help him get set up and make sure we have maximum coverage, maximum eyes on this event.
So you want me to contact your friend in the media?
And generally, bring him to the event, make sure he's set up, camera angles, production values, Doug.
Am I a honeypot?
No.
Do I have to have sex with him?
No, that does bring me to point 2, though. There's a doctor who wants to have sex with me. I need you to make sure that does not happen.
Do you want me to have sex with him?
No.
Okay, good.
I was just hoping you could help me run if needs be. I'm not very fast, Doug.
I've noticed.
I'm not very fast at all.
But you do got them fancy wheels on your shoes. They usually only give those to admirals.
I had almost forgotten about it.
Yeah, it's
Tell
been
you
a while.
what, if somebody comes at me with lustful intent in their eyes, I need you to give me a good hard push and I will wheel away to blissful virginal freedom.
You've got it. Anyone comes at you with lustful intentions, I will wheel you away. No
Right.
matter how beautiful they are or, like how virile they seem. Absolutely.
This is good, Doug. This is a place of academic learning and the event is very important. I cannot be distracted by
Gotcha.
goonery.
It's okay. I just Googled what honeypotting is.
He says, I know it. I'll be your thirst trap,
Indeed, Doug.
technically.
Of all the thirstiest mouths, you must trap them.
All right.
And so that's task 1.5, Doug. 1 being the media contact, and I'll get you his information shortly. 1.5 being...
How do I incentivize him? How do I get him to join? Do I tell him that there's something juicy?
something very juicy, Doug.
Right. Pertaining to what?
Pertaining to not only economics, but politics here on Gate City.
All right.
Tell him that the fifth Juno Angevin will be in attendance, making her re-entry into polite society, as it were.
All right.
And the third thing, Doug, is I was hoping you could make a quick run to the local credit depository for me. I have a few investments I'd like to make, but I need to stay here and prepare.
You just gonna give me access to your bank account?
Doug, if you wanted to rob me, you'd have done so a long time ago. Plus, I understand you're not drinking anymore, and I trust you now.
He just puts his hand out and grabs your shoulder briefly. And he says, yeah, you're right. You know, I clocked you as full of shit when we were in the shit tunnels, right after we first met, but I don't know, Pyotr. Sometimes I still think so. Every now and then, you know, it seems that you are tempted by the vestiges of power and prestige, but then I see when the bullets start flying, you don't run away.
He hobbles.
He hobbles.
He physically cannot.
Yeah. You wheelie. And so he says, all right, you give me a list.
Here's the list, and he hands him a small piece of paper.
Do you want to say that for the audience, or do you want to reveal it later?
I'll reveal it later.
Okay. You have to let me know in between, but yes, okay, that's fine. Okay, great. Yeah, he takes the list and he goes, wow, this feels like it's going to make a big dramatic reveal later.
Either that or I'll fuck it all up, Doug. I don't know which one yet.
Hard to say.
I'd give myself about a 50-50 shot.
All right. I'll go run your errands for you. What's the name of the guy on the media? Is this your I Know a Guy card, by the way?
It's going to be my I Know a Guy card.
Okay.
Awesome.
You don't have the physical card, I'm assuming?
I don't. The guy's name is going to be Wrench Ductangle.
Wrench
Ductangle.
Duck.
The prolific writer Wrench Ductangle.
I am your target audience, sir. Hot fucking dog. All right. Okay. Wrench Ductangle. Okay.
And he's a senior vice president at the Galactic News Network.
Senior VP. Already.
Good old Wrench.
Galactic News Network. All right.
I just want to, like, if he had a book, it would be W Ductangle.
W Ductangle. Of the Louisiana Ductangle. Incredible. Okay. Awesome. Doug nods. He says,
Pyotr nods. His neck cracks. Ow. Thank you, Doc.
thank you. We're gonna burn this all to the ground, Pyotr.
Indeed we are. Maybe it'll be prettier than this fake sunset.
Maybe. And then he leaves. He goes to run your errands for you. Juno,
Yes.
you've been uncharacteristically silent.
I'm not in the room with them.
Aren't you?
No.
Oh,
no,
where did Juno
they
go?
walked off on their own.
Yeah, we're on the balcony.
Yeah.
Oh shit. What are you you're in the apartment.
Yes.
There's a body in the fridge. There's two bodies in the fridge, actually.
I don't know if I've seen that yet.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. You've seen the puddle coming out of the kitchen.
Pyotr, you're always just making such a mess. And what is... what? You know what? It's not my problem. Alastar,
Yes, Faith.
Pyotr's right. You seem rather troubled.
I am.
What is our plan from here?
I need to perform a task, do a job, and I'm trying to find ways to do it where you, Pyotr, Doug, don't know where Glade is, are all right. at the end of it. I'm worried that me coming on your ship to get here puts you all in a bit of a crosshair. Naturally, you have your own problems, but these are my problems squaring away, and I'm going to take full cognizance and, yeah.
We were in crosshairs before we met you, and
No.
while I don't appreciate having more attention on us, I do imagine that we probably found each other for a reason. Or at least we are.
You both look at the camera.
Or at least we are in a similar kind of pickle.
Answer me this question, Faith. Because I do need to get moving soon here. Why is it that you do the things you do? Why is it that you're following around Pyotr and Doug, and why'd you get dragged through the cosmos the way that you've been? Why are you doing these things?
For lack of a better reason, we didn't have much of a choice. When a target is put on your back, you need to survive.
What target was on your back?
I became a person of interest to somebody who is quite foul.
So you ran. That's it? You're just trying to keep yourself safe, prolong the existence of Faith Juno Angevin.
I am a very important person and I must stay safe. There are procedures in place, but it became very clear that we couldn't trust people I would normally trust with my protection and security. And in the process, I became rather fond of our crew. I realized that maybe the way I had been living my life wasn't as aligned with my views and, well, as it should have been. And perhaps there is a reckoning, or, yes, it is unfortunate.
So now you're doing the things you do because you like the people who you're doing them with.
Mainly for fear.
Fear. Not too dissimilar then. Faith, I do the things I do because I thought I was trying to do the right thing. My mother made fun of me for it before I left, actually. She did. I don't even think she'd recognize me now, which is funny in its own part. I need to go and do something. And I have an opportunity here to potentially rid you of something that is putting you in the crosshairs of other people. But I'm not going to force you to do anything. I can take the book away from you. I can make it go away. I have no intention of giving it to anyone, but I could get it far away from you in this moment and maybe make this next stretch of the journey for you, for Doug, for Pyotr, a hair safer. Just a hair. If you say no, I'm going to wrap up that big fucking tome there. I'm going to singe the edges of the cloth and all that good stuff, make it look like it's been wrapped up in it for quite some time, and take that instead. But I have to go. Because the reason I do things is not for my own sake. I have people who I care about, and I do this for them.
Do you understand the gravity this book holds?
Yes, probably more than most.
And I do believe that you will fight tooth and nail to be sure it does not end up in the hands of those who will use it for wrongdoings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how we would use it for right doings. I guess that's what Doug was talking about. You know, if that hadn't just happened to Caspi, and perhaps if Glade was still here with me, I would fight you on this. But I am feeling rather tired now, and the weight of this tome is heavy. You must promise that if I need it back, you will be able to return it to me.
If it is within my power to do so, I'll get it to you.
Do not destroy it.
I don't think I can. Let me give you a window.
Right. Okay. Be safe with it.
I'm not a liar, Faith. Where I'm going's not going to be safe. I can almost guarantee that.
Then why don't you take us with you? We can back you up.
Faith, a geriatric old man with Heelys, and you.
You have not seen it, but I am actually quite a good shot.
And how do you handle being shot?
No one would try to shoot me.
Faith.
People
tried to shoot you earlier today.
But none of them succeeded. Fine. If you do not want my divine hand along with you, then take it and go.
I'm trying to save as many divine rules of the dice for you as I can. Keep your faith, and I'll take the book and what skills I have, and try and make a difference here and at large. If everything goes according to plan, I will be at wherever you two are, either here or tomorrow morning when the news goes live about the library.
Doug will not be happy.
I don't think Doug's ever liked me. I think he tolerates the fact that there's someone here who he can't fully intimidate. Someone who's not attached to his loss. He can't use the weight of his sorrow to hold me down. I have enough of that.
If you want to burden yourself with another weight, then fine. But remember the agreements we've made.
Will do.
And I hope not to find you dead in some hangar bay somewhere because you made poor decisions and couldn't handle yourself, so do better.
Very well.
And she reaches into her robes and pulls out the book, and she feels the pull of it again and remembers how that felt falling kind of into herself in Caspi's. I guess you may be doing me a favor anyway. And hands it out to Alastar.
I'll take the book. Goodbye, Faith. Pyotr, you start out on the balcony.
Pyotr walks into one of the glass windows that's not a sliding door, and then goes to the sliding door and opens the sliding door and comes back inside. Alastar, you look like you're on your way out the door.
I have to be.
And I see you have our little book there.
Oh, I do.
Well, I have no feelings one way or the other about that. But you'll understand that I think we need to consult Doug on that as well.
He's already gone.
Doug is?
Yeah, you went to go run your errands.
Oh.
You sent him away!
I thought maybe you'd take a shower or retape the fridge or something first.
It's Doug.
And all of his pairs of underwear are currently hanging in my shower. I don't know how I feel about this, Mr. Brand, without us consulting Doug.
Where's he going?
Well, he's going down to the Galactic News Network office in the next quadrant over. And then he's going to the bank for me.
Or, consult Glade.
Well, Glade's too busy getting beaten up, so...
Separates herself from the party, complains about what the party does.
All right, Mr. Coma Button.
Pyotr, just while we do still have the book in our possession.
I already tried photocopying it. It didn't work. It said I needed to insert Eldritch horror paper in tray 1. I could not find tray 1.
But you had the Eldritch horror paper. You're a strange man, Pyotr. No, you're the one who originally had the book.
It came to me by chance, and perhaps it's chance that it leaves.
How did it come to you?
It was a donation to Usagicity's library from the Belendi estate.
The Belendi estate?
I understand it's a rich family that's somewhat secluded on the Outer Rim.
Right. Doug may not be happy about the book. I have made Alastar promise a few things. It will come back to us. I am confident.
Can I try calling Doug in the data center? Does Doug have a data center?
I think Doug does have a data center. When you try to call him, it goes straight to data center voicemail, nano voicemail, if you
Doug
will.
mail.
Doug mail, yeah. It goes right to Doug mail. Leave a Doug at the Doug of the Doug.
Alastar, if you leave the book here until Doug returns and we can discuss it with him, I will make sure no harm comes to it and it does not go anywhere.
We don't have that kind of clock, Pyotr. We don't.
Well, you haven't really explained to us why we don't, and you are the one recommending a change in the status quo here, sir.
I am. Allow me to make it perfectly clear. I chose to join Corpsec to try and level the playing field for other corporations within this system, within the reach of Terra. The further we got along, the further we discovered things weren't about money, they were about something else. Twisting of facts or misrepresentation of understanding. Something your family is profoundly familiar with, Mr. Maitland. Because of that misunderstanding, it brought me here. And now the terms of my engagement have suddenly changed. And it happened because I met you. I was going to come here, do my job, and leave. But every single person who talks to you wants this book. Up to and including now the people who try to keep me in check. I am going to go meet with them, book in hand, with failsafes. The reason I do this, they know exactly who has it right now. I have a little under an hour to get it where it needs to go, or I no longer have power to keep at bay the greater force of economic destruction that could come upon you. I'm not talking about terrorists, I'm not talking about Jesuits, I'm not talking about gangs, I'm talking about organized military incursion, infiltration, and disruption. They know you have the book, and they seem to constantly be aware of it. This book has superseded every single thing that I've been sent here to do. Superseded. And I'll put on the record what that was as well, since we had the whole light show from Mr. Party. I was trying to find proof that these angels existed. Physical proof. So that other corporations could loosen the chokehold on interstellar travel that TepCorp and the military has. Somehow, this book is more important than that. Do you understand that? That's why I'm trying to take it away from you.
But you're taking it right to Corpsec.
Not exactly.
Well,
I
you're
have
going to Corpsec with it. Is that not true?
I'm going to the locks, not to Corpsec.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to meet your employer.
I'm going to meet my handler.
Who is Corpsec.
Correct.
With the book.
Correct.
So you're going to meet Corpsec with the book.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Glad we got to that admission. I can't fathom why you're doing that, sir.
To get the book away from you. And there's more layers than just taking it from point A to point B.
Well, you haven't explained those layers, though. Yeah, what I understand here,
plausible
sir,
deniability for you
is that you think that they know where the book is because it's with us, and your solution to that is to bring it right to them.
Yes.
I don't think my objections are on behalf of Doug anymore. I think they're just good old-fashioned objections, sir.
And why so?
Because that's a batshit insane plan.
Why?
Because you're bringing Corpsec a weapon of psychological mass destruction, sir.
One that they will take from you.
And what is
later
preventing
today.
them from taking it from you?
At least...
Because of your fancy sword work, sir? Because you're a large, vaguely Celtic man?
Better than
They're the
what?
fucking police.
The descendant of a quack who's being honored as a quack? What the fuck are you gonna do to stop him?
Well, we've kept it out of their hands so far, haven't we?
We have.
With absurd intervention.
Hey, sorry, continue.
The reason I'm taking it is so that you don't bear the brunt of what's going to happen. If you want me to leave it here, I told the Faith, I'm not going to fight you over this. I'm not going to kill an old man. I'm not going to kill a preacher to go and try and keep you away from the punishment that's coming your way.
Good, then leave it here.
Fine. I'm going to put the book back down on the counter and take the rap decoy.
Wait, that's my only copy.
Oh, no, I'll give you the one that I left in the rubbish bin. It's covered in piss and misrepresented ideas in mathematics.
Well, the piss was already there. I don't know where the other two would have come from.
Oh, right. You didn't read a few chapters of your own book. Goodbye, Fate, Pyotr. Good luck. I'm gonna take the decoy book and leave.
Okay.
If he wants to be a martyr, we can let him be a martyr, but he has a point. We wouldn't be able to survive without him or Glade, or we would never have survived or gotten away if it hadn't been for Lift either. We are ill-prepared to be protectors of something we don't understand.
You're not wrong, Faith, but that doesn't justify what Alastar wanted to do with this book. He's overconfident, and I know a thing about overconfidence. I'll put it in the fridge.
The book?
Oh, okay, I'll put it somewhere else.
We will leave you guys there. Alastar, at this point, you have to travel at breakneck speed to get to the locks on time.
Yeah.
It almost wouldn't have been possible, except that you have maps.
Yeah.
Giving you shortcuts, enabling you to bypass certain checks that might have slowed you down. You enter the locks. You head to what looks like it was like almost like an office building.
Mm-hmm.
You check the instructions that Jax gave you.
Mm-hmm.
And as you enter this building, you can kind of see he wants you kind of up on the second floor. It's like a 3-story building and an office that you imagine to be kind of like in the corner. Make your way up the stairs, enter, open the door, and there, sitting, looks like an abandoned, dusty desk with a pistol on the table, is Jax, sitting in kind of like a swiveling office chair. I thought for sure that I was going to have to put this out. And he holds up his data center, and you can see even from the distance the burn notice. He says, "What a pleasant surprise. You brought it? Bring it here?"
Why? What changed, Jax?
What changed? What changed? You know what changed, Alastar, was I was stationed to watch over the system that Kutane is in. I was charged with protecting your home planet, the planet that your parents have and their parents have watched over for years. And I believed in it, you know, I really did. And then your mom made her big discovery. And I thought, okay, wow, CorpSec is going to make a difference here. We're going to level the playing field. We're going to give interstellar travel to the people, finally, or at least to the market, and let the market decide. And then I stumbled upon what CorpSec plans to do with it. They don't plan to give it to anybody. CorpSec wants it all. And so when his light was finally allowed into my heart, I realized that I needed that betrayal of everything I'd believed in to crack the armor and let his light in. And I realized that his light is the only thing that can save us. We can't trust corporations or people. Alastar, he sent us angels, and they need our help.
Or do you need theirs?
We've always needed their help, but now they're here.
This whole time I'd like to be walking up with the book.
Sure.
I'm going to be approaching on the side where his data center was placed on the table.
Sure.
So CorpSec is corrupt. That's what you're telling me.
It was the final crack in my armor.
So because their corruption, you throw in your lot with a group of people equally corrupt?
You can't believe what you hear about the Jesuits. Alastar, look. Think about what you and I have done in the pursuit of our mission. Think about all the people that we've killed and the lies we've told and what we've stolen and we've broken and destroyed. And how are we so different? What difference is there? It's just we do what we feel that we must to make this universe better and brighter. And that's what they do.
Most of the people I had to kill were Jesuit. The vast, overwhelming majority.
Yes.
Not by choice. by demand. You want to live through divine decree? Is that it now? That's your purpose? You live because some book told you to? This book.
I listen to the songs of angels now, Alastar. Not the decree of corporation.
I'm going to put the book down on the table, using my left hand to cross over my body and put it in front of him, slamming it down in front of his data center, covering it.
Okay.
What do the angels sound like, Jax?
Like peace. It's like a warm voice telling you to be not afraid.
You want to hear something crazy? This book says the same thing.
He goes to reach out his hand for it.
And I shoot him 3 times in the chest.
Go ahead and make a power check with 2 penalty dice.
Shit. Extreme success.
Oh.
With 2 penalty dice?
Penalty dice?
3, 13, 3.
Get fucked, Brian.
Hot.
Get fucked, Brian.
Damn. All fucking right. You draw your gun, and there is this moment. On an extreme success, let me triple check my thing, because you would usually take sanity damage, but on an extreme success.
That was baller.
Gains sanity.
All right. 3 hell-ass motherfucking extreme successes in a row, you piece of shit. All right.
Love you, Papa.
Okay. Neurologically implanted employee directive is something that every CorpSec agent has, also known as a need. In order to act contrary to your neurologically implanted employee directive or your need, you have to make a hard or better success on a power check. For instance, if you wanted to harm your direct superior, they might actually put additional fucking checks in place for that. So, you may do so. You needed a hard or better success. You rolled an extreme success. It will cost you 1d6 sanity damage in order to do so. So go ahead and roll a d6. 4 points of sanity damage. Nice. Okay, sweet. So we don't have to go through the whole temporary insanity thing. Holy shit. Okay. You pull out your gun, and you can see him immediately. His eyes go wide, scoops his pistol off the table, but he is going to dive for cover. So he's going to make a dodge check.
I'm point blank with a pistol, yeah?
You are point blank with a pistol. So it's going to be like, basically this will take it to like a straight roll, because you're still like shooting through a desk, essentially. Hot fucking dog. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't.
Oh.
You can see you like totally have like shocked him, and he's got his like goes to grab his gun, and he should have instead just dodged and left his gun, but that action has slowed him down enough. Go ahead and make your firearms checks.
So because he failed, do I roll with a bonus dice? Because
You are in close quarters. So for your fanning the trigger,
yeah, so it will cancel out the first one, but then the other one it won't.
yes.
Yeah, because it adds a penalty dice for each shot after the first.
Yep. Yeah. You got
First
it.
one with advantage. First one's a success. Second one is just a straight roll. Second one is an extreme success.
Shit.
And the third one with a penalty dice is a fail.
Okay. First one was a failure.
First one was a success.
First one's
extreme success. Fail.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage. I strongly suspect with that extreme success, it's going to be a whole ass thing.
13 points of damage on the first.
Hot damn. Okay.
16 points of damage on the second.
Fuck.
God.
He's bloodied.
Cthulhu arrives.
Yeah. You can see he does have body armor. He goes to grab his pistol. Just blam, blam, blam. 3 shots. All center mass. Yeah, each higher than the last. You can just kind of see behind him. There's this like puff of blood, bone, organs, and just for some flavor, not to be disgusting, but it's actually the little foam stuff that's in the chair, not to be gross. And that just sprays out all over the floor of this abandoned office. And it actually just kind of like, the force of it, like he rolls back from it. And you see the light in his eyes just go out. He's lying there dead. You hear bolts closing in the rooms beside you, I'm going to make some firearms checks.
Do I get to do anything?
You can choose to die for cover if you want.
I'll die for cover.
I would recommend you die for cover this time.
I'm asking if I can do anything. Windows. Just glass?
Yep.
Great. I'm diving for cover.
Okay. Go ahead and make your dodge check.
That is a success.
A success, okay. They got a penalty dice for their shooting through walls.
Yeah.
They got another penalty dice because you dodged. Alex just verified my dice. What were their rolls?
1, 1, 21.
It's the night for it, it would seem.
So I'm dealing with a 21 here.
You're dealing with a 21 on the first one. First burst. Fuck. That is not quite a hard success. So that's good. That's good. It's just normal damage. And it's through a wall, so I'm going to be reducing some for that reason.
Oh, boy.
What is happening tonight? What is it? What is it, Brian?
Alex, you want to read those?
You rolled 2 dice or 3 dice?
2.
Right, he rolled 2 dice. The first one is a 6, and the second one is a 6.
Okay.
Out of a possible 12.
Great. So the first one goes through 6 of 8 points of body armor. The second one goes through the remaining 2 of 8 and 4
I haven't done a reduction yet.
Oh, okay.
Based on the fact that they're shooting through walls. I'm going to reduce it by a d4.
Okay.
Because they're shooting through a wall. It's not a very thick wall, but it is a wall. And they're shooting blind. There we go. My trend of rolling high fortunately continues. Reduce that by 4. You take 8 points of damage total.
You've eaten my body armor.
Okay. As you hear the bolts close, you go to move, but before you can move, some instinctive part of your training makes you shift your shoulders so you can get more of your body armor between you and the potential source of gunfire than there was previously. You definitely didn't want to present a side profile, and it feels like someone hit you in the chest with a hammer. You fall to the ground. All right, I'm going to make, because you're prone and you dove for cover, they get a lot of penalty dice. Actually, at this point, I'm just going to say they need harder, better successes.
They didn't get it.
On the dice, we have a 1, a 1, and an 11.
What the fuck?
Okay, it's still just a hard success. It's not an extreme success. And it will be reduced. It's a 6 and a 5.
Okay.
So 11 points of damage. It would be a total of 12 points of damage, but it will be reduced. By 2.
Okay. So 10 points of damage?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your health at now?
4.
10 points of damage was obviously more than half your total hit points.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and make a con check for me.
I'm going to burn 1 luck
Hell yeah.
and succeed.
Okay. Shit. Beating the shit out of you guys this episode. Not my intention.
So there were 3 shooters? 4 shooters. Fuck me, these Jesuits, man.
I know I did it, but it didn't mean you should go off on your own.
It's only cool when I do it. Okay, yeah, you managed to stay conscious as this second round just rips through, and you can feel it kind of like hit the top of your shoulder, and you feel the bones shatter. I believe even on a success, I think you still take a major wound. Yeah, you take a major wound on a success. You feel the bones in your shoulder kind of shatter as the gun kind of drops limp out of your hand. And then you hear some yelling and then more gunfire. And you kind of like, as you're hazy in pain, you're bracing yourself for more bullets to kind of come ripping through the room, and they don't. Just shots. Screams of pain. Muffled sound of a grenade going off. As you're kind of lying there, you manage to put the gun in your unwounded hand, point it towards the door. Your vision is kind of fading in and out. The door kind of opens, and it's empty for a second. You hear a familiar voice say, Kid, are you in there?
Yeah.
Don't shoot.
At a ghost?
He steps into the doorway, and you recognize Creed Milosh as he limps up to you. He has what looks like an AR kind of like stowed by his side, and he's holding a pistol. You can see like he's wearing this long coat that's open, and there are like loops with grenades, several of them missing. Half of his face is a ruin of burns. It looks like it's almost been like melted and like frozen in place. He just puts his hand on your chest. He says, "Shit, they got you, kid."
Only a little. Look at your ugly mug. I did worse to you.
All right, smartass. Let's get you out of here.
I'm going to make sure I grab the data center. And I'm going to leave the book.
And that is where we will end tonight's episode. Thanks for making it this far. So ends episode 7. Punigate summary incoming shortly. This podcast is edited, mixed, and mastered by me, Brian Gashgarian. All the music in the podcast is composed by me. Special thanks to Damien for his amazing ad, and to Carlin and Katie for lending their voices to it. Also to Alex, Leah, Tom, and Catherine for lending me their talent for this. You can find us on Insta, TikTok, and Twitch at The Stars Aren't Alright, or on Blue Sky at TSAA Pod. You can support us on Patreon at the link in our bio, and chat with us on Discord using that very same link. But as a reward for making it to the end, I would like to remind you that an ostrich's eye is larger than its brain. Most of all, thanks to you for listening, and we'll see you next time.